They said I stayed. Come on now. Come on, man. We working, man. That's just a little hard work. You know? It ain't nothing.
Maybe this is the last fight for Crawford. And for Canelo, it's mean a lot for his fan in North America and South America and all the world.
After the exciting first fight, boxing fans wanted Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez to fight again because they thought it would be even more exciting. Since Turki Alalshik announced the rematch, interest in boxing has gone through the roof.
Be much better. I could see it that way, you know, because there is a lot of money involved, and the rematch would be huge, but especially when now.
Turki said in a recent interview that even though people loved the first fight, the upcoming rematch would be much more exciting. Fans and experts alike are more excited because of what he said. The boxing community is thrilled about this choice because they think that the rematch between Canelo and Crawford would be another thrilling and unforgettable show for the sport.
The rematch would be any different, or you think it might be even worse?
I don't think it would be any different. Canelo said it himself, he couldn't figure it out. I mean, it was just, like I said, Crawford fought a perfect fight. I think both sides could make some adjustments, but I think it would be the same result.
Canelo Alvarez, on the other hand, has already started training again for the second fight. He looks more focused and hungry than before. He works harder than ever to get back at the person who beat him in the first fight. His training lessons are longer and more intense, which shows that he is really determined to win. He is getting stronger and faster at this early stage of his training. Canelo's team says that he is motivated and has good ideas. He is fully focused and eager to get his win back this time.
¡Ánimo, cabrón! ¡Ánimo, Ale! Wake up, buddy! Huh? You wanna be a champion? You need to train like a champion. Huh? That's different, huh? Uh-huh. Come on.
The most important thing is that Terence "Bud" Crawford has returned to training, which stopped his celebrations because Turki announced the fight and Canelo was already in camp. A lot of people in the boxing world are interested in this story. Crawford knows that beating the Mexicans in their first fight took a lot of skill and energy. He also knows that Canelo will come back this time with better plans and ideas. The hard work to get ready for the repeat has already begun for Crawford. He thinks that hard work in the gym gives you confidence and calmness in the fight. No matter how strong or experienced your opponent is, but we need to talk about something important first before we get to Bud's hard training for this fight. A lot of smart boxing people have said things about the fight. Let us hear what they have to say. Robert Garcia first talked about the planned rematch, saying that he thinks Canelo will have a hard time turning things around in his favor. In preparation for the rematch, he said that Crawford is in great shape and has faith because he has already beaten Canelo. Garcia also said that Crawford did a great job in their first fight and praised how calm he was during it before he talked about his thoughts on the return. He said that Bud's success in training made it likely that he would repeat his dominant performance and that he would not let Canelo win this time. Garcia says that Crawford is once again the clear choice because of his momentum and confidence.
He's fighting a left-hander, you know. It's. I don't think there's any excuses there. I think Crawford was much better, and we'll do the same in a rematch if it happens, even if he's healthy, 100%.
Famous person Keith Thurman wrote an analysis of this rematch in which he said that the money would be even higher than in the first fight. He also said that some people think Bud is only picking the rematch for the money. He thinks Crawford is doing this to leave something important behind. Thurman made it clear that Terence's first win over him was the most important of his career and that a second win would add to his already impressive legacy. However, he stressed that Crawford seems to be more interested in cementing his greatness and leaving a lasting mark on boxing history and in making money.
A lot of money on the table. It's so easy to say, oh, he's doing it for the money. He might be. But wait, what if he's doing it for legacy? Did you guys forget about legacy? Of course, money makes the world go round. But it's the legacy of a man that we remember.
But Roy Jones Jr. said in his return prediction that Canelo has a chance to win if he makes the right changes. He told him that he should remember what they did in their last fight and be very aware of where to score in their next one. Jones did tell him, though, that he would lose again if he made the same mistakes he did in the first fight and didn't fight an ideal battle. He came to the conclusion that Crawford already knew what was wrong with Canelo and would easily beat him again.
Fight the absolute correct fight that he can fight, the only correct fight that he can fight. He does have a chance, and I think he could be victorious. If he doesn't fight the one way that he can only fight to win it, Terence Crawford has 6 ways he can win.
The next thing we need to talk about is how Crawford did at camp. For most warriors, that kind of success would be enough. They would have fun, chill out, and let everyone else talk. But, on the other hand, is not like that. Even after he wins, he goes over each round in his mind, trying to figure out how he could have moved better, punched better, or ended stronger. His friends and family say he is his own worst judge. He is not driven by money, fame, or attention, but by mastery and the desire to prove to himself that he is the best fighter living. Crawford works out hard and hungry because he knows his job isn't done yet. Also, Terence Crawford thinks that the thought of fighting Canelo Alvarez again is exciting rather than scary. Because he fought and beat one of the best fighters of all time, he knows how strong, quick, and accurate Canelo is. But he is determined to be different this time. He's excited about the task because he thinks his opponent will be smarter, angrier, and more dangerous. Crawford thinks that competing with tough people helps him do his best. He would rather have a tough fight than an easy one. He has the chance to show everyone that his first win was due to pure skill in the repeat.
Before, the only thing about this camp different than any other camp is I don't gotta cut muscle. I don't gotta, watch what I do in strength condition. I can, go fully all out, and just do what I need to do to get stronger.
Also, there is a strong opinion in Terence Crawford's camp that there will be a rematch. They don't want the fight to go on for 12 rounds this time. This matchup feels different from the last one, which was won through planning and patience.
He's a damn good fighter. I love working with him. But if he say, let's go 2 or 3 more times, let's go 2 or 3 more times.
Many people think that either Canelo had a bad night or Crawford's win was too close. His team knows this. They have changed their minds about making a choice. They want something said. Their job is to stop the fight before the judges step in and use their power to silence any questions. They depend on Crawford's speed, accuracy, and control to make the most important moment ever.
Come on! Yeah, get it! 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 Get it! Come on! Yeah, move out the way! 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 Yeah! What you got? 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 Yeah!
Every soldier has a goal, a burning desire that pushes them through pain, exhaustion, and the unknown. Terence Crawford is mostly driven by respect, his background, and the idea that he has always been undervalued. He has fought his way up from nothing in his job, facing rejection, firing, and uncertainty along the way. It's not just work. It gets personal when he and Canelo go back to the ring. It's about showing that excitement and new stories don't make people great. Hard work, love, and desire do. Crawford is a strong example of all 3 of these traits. moving forward. Also, it's important to note that Canelo Alvarez is working hard to get ready for the fight, just like Terence Crawford. He seems sincere and set on what's to come. The thing that eluded Canelo during the first fight is something he wants to get back. The fact that he is still upset about the loss is what drives him the most. He told them that he wasn't fully ready for the war, and that fact keeps pushing him. This time, he doesn't want to feel bad about missing out on anything. Because of this, he started camp early to make sure he was ready in every way. In addition, every day at camp shows how driven he is. He works hard and regularly, never losing his focus. He knows that working hard will pay off, which will make him even more committed. Canelo is giving everything he has, his full time, energy, and attention. He knows how painful it is to lose something so important, and he won't let it happen again. He now plans each move with the goal of ending the fight by answering all the questions. The most important thing is that Canelo's way of thinking has changed since his first fight. He knows what he did wrong, is more gentle with himself, and is more sure of what he should do next. His eyes show desire and purpose, and the way he acts shows that he is in charge. He no longer thinks about what went wrong but about what needs to be done right. He has something to gain from the camp. Now is his chance to show that he can bring back what was lost. Canelo loves every minute he spends in camp. Every little bit of progress is important. He is working hard to make sure that when the repeat comes around, he will be ready to get back everything he has lost. Last but not least, let's see what the experts said about Canelo's first fight with Crawford and how they think the second one will go. Before anyone else, Lennox Lewis said that Terence was very good the whole time in his review of the first fight after it happened. He said that even though Canelo tried to trick him and hit him with his shots, but was too quick and fluid, which made it hard for him to carry out his plan and annoyed him in the end. Lewis said that Crawford's speed, timing, and mobility made it hard for Canelo to find his flow. On the whole, he thought both fighters put on a great boxing show, showing great skill, planning, and grace. Also, Sean Zittel said that after the first fight that Canelo was very competitive in the first 3 rounds, but Crawford was the one who used his strategies and techniques the best in the ring. He said that the Mexican was able to connect with some of his shots during those rounds, which is why, after 10 rounds, the fight was still tied. But Zittel saw that Canelo hadn't done anything particularly impressive in the last 2 rounds, which were all Crawford. He came to the conclusion that Crawford's strong finish might make the judges give him the win.
In the 4th, 6th, 7th, and 9th, and then he would take his foot off the gas, and I'm like, okay, now you're giving a reason for the judges to find a way to rob you for the bigger name fighter in Canelo. But then in 10, 11, I mean, the fight was really over in the 11th. He stood in the phone booth with Canelo, took some of those looping, old school Triple G type looping right hands over the top, those anchor shots, and he ate him no problem. Early, the left hooks to the body. They didn't slow him down. There's a few times Canelo got him where he wanted him to shell up inside and pounded on his arms, which...
Another well-known name, Showbiz the grown-up, said Canelo did everything he could to win. He tried to hit Crawford with some of his best shots, but Crawford's great speed and defense stopped them. He said that it made him happy and Canelo kept trying but was always stopped by Bud. Showbiz went on to say that Bud looked like a newer, deader version of himself in the fight against Canelo. He finally came to the conclusion that Crawford's confidence, timing, and flexibility were more important than his skills and abilities. These things showed how much he had improved as a fighter and how dominant he was during the match.
He won. This is the first time I heard Canelo say there's nothing I could have done. He did everything. He's an everything man. Terence Bud Crawford not only outboxed him, he outfought him. When there were exchanges and they were throwing, he outfought him. And I'm gonna tell you this, that was, when people say Canelo Alvarez, that wasn't the best, whatever, you can kiss my ass. That Canelo was good. I was thinking that Canelo tried everything. He even tried to hit him on top of me, like Triple G. He tried everything. He tried to trade with him. There was shit he can do. And I saw Terence Crawford give Canelo Alvarez Bambi leg.
Carl Froch also said that Canelo's bad showing cost him the fight. He said that his showing wasn't as good as everyone had hoped. Even though it was clear that Canelo was the favorite, his fans were in unbearable pain when he lost to Crawford. Froch said that Canelo seemed to think he could easily beat Crawford, just like some of his other opponents. That assumption, however, was wrong. He was up against a tough opponent this time, and it was clear to everyone what would happen if they didn't give him enough credit. It was a terrible loss for Canelo.
Previous rounds, but it wasn't enough. Terence Crawford was able to catch and counter. He was landing a sneaky uppercut from the southpaw stance. He was dominating behind his jab, and then when Canelo stuck it on him, he was dominating up close in the pocket. He was beating him at his own game. Canelo Alvarez must have been fuming in there. He must have thought to himself, what can I do? He couldn't do anything. He needed to pick up the pace, put the pressure on, and sustain the attacks. And I don't want to take anything away from Terence Crawford, but Canelo Alvarez couldn't do that. He couldn't do it for long enough. Crawford looked like he could have done 20 rounds in there tonight at that pace, the way he was dictating and controlling. And Canelo Alvarez was getting marked up, he was breathing heavy, he was getting tired, he was reaching with shots.
In addition, John Ryder said that Crawford's victory was an amazing show. He admitted that no one had thought he would do so well. Despite what people thought, the champion fought with zeal and drive. He put on a show in the ring that included almost every part of boxing, and Ryder watched as he used moves to silence his doubters. His hard work and commitment in training, as well as his steady growth, impressed him. Ryder praised Crawford's drive, which keeps leading to beautiful and surprising wins, even though she has gained weight. Taking stock of the historic mega fight, Abel Sanchez also took advantage of Crawford's dominance from the start to the finish. He said that he had shown everyone wrong, even though he and many others had thought that he would lose some of his speed and agility after the first few rounds. Instead, Crawford kept his mind on the fight the whole time. Sanchez said that Canelo couldn't take his own method because of this, but chose the rules for the fight. So in the end, it was all his.
And then Terence never let Canelo get into a rhythm. Terence never allowed Canelo to get anything going, and I didn't think he could do it for 12 rounds. I thought that the first 3 or 4 rounds were going to be difficult for Canelo for that reason, but Terence was able to do it for 12 rounds, and in the later part of the fight, he kind of pushed the fight more than I think people expected, which is the mark of a superstar, man.
Overall, the boxing community is thrilled about the rematch, and the excitement has only grown since both fighters went back to their training camps. Fans already know this fight will be amazing, maybe even more so than the first one. Fans of Crawford are sure that their king will show how strong he is again and win another fight. They think that the result will be the same as the last time. Canelo's die-hard fans were heartbroken when he lost his last fight, but they have found new hope after seeing how dedicated and focused he is during training. They think that Canelo will come back better, more focused, and ready to take back the top spot. How do you feel about this return in general? Do you think it's smart for both fighters to fight each other again, or do you think they should have looked for other opportunities? Which one do you back this time? Canelo wants to get even with Crawford, who is trying to repeat his dominant showing from the first fight. Tell us what you think will happen in the comments part below. We'd love to hear what you think. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe too. We really appreciate how excited you are about boxing. It keeps us going to bring you more exciting news. Keep an eye out for the latest news.